Hey guys, what's up? Oh, hold on, I need to change something real quick because you guys can't hear the music now. There we go. What's up, guys? How are we? I got a new overlay. How do you guys like it? How does it look for you guys? I fix my camera a little bit. A little wonky. There we go. How's that? It's a little better. Bend it down a little bit, maybe? Ooh, not too much. There we go. That's better. Yeah. I don't have anything bad in the background, right? No. Probably not. What's up, guys? How's the music? Let me know how everything works. I got this all set up. Hypothetically, YouTube and Twitch should both have their own chats. So like their own chats, their own alerts and everything. So let me know like if anything isn't working right the way it's supposed to. Sorry, I'm just getting some stuff set up on my other screen here. But yeah, today we're going to be painting another one of these traps. In between last time, I'm a little quiet. Hold on, let me do this. This might make me a little louder, maybe? The mic's a little far away. I can't help too much with that, but cool. I'll put the mic here, but I'll angle it towards me. I hope that wasn't awful noises for you guys. Sorry, I'm still moving everything. There we go. Okay, if I'm still a little quiet, I probably still am. You know what? I hope it is. Let me give it a quick little taste. Let's see. The USB mic, we'll give it. Okay, is it better? Probably not. Okay, we'll try that for now. I just gave it a +5 dB. Hopefully that's enough. Let's see. And now we'll put this off to the side. Now, actually, to be honest, I don't know exactly what I'm going to be painting today. Oh, and I have a little headphone in so I can hear the music with you guys this time. Because before I couldn't. Why is this complicated? There we go. Alright. There we go. Everything's back to where it needs to be. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to paint today. I was planning on painting a little dragon dice holder guy. But unfortunately it broke a lot. I had that, or I had just primed it, and I was leaving it to dry in my garage, and my family moved some stuff around in the garage and ended up breaking it, unfortunately. But it's not their fault. It's hard to see. I left it in a bad spot. But I'm just gonna have to reprint that overnight tonight, and hopefully that can be what we paint next week. Because I'm gonna try and do these every Monday night. That's when works the best for me, at least. Let's see. And who is up next for me to paint? Ooh, that's annoying. Next two people I'm supposed to paint are someone who I'm not sure what to paint for, like what to do stylistically. I asked them for some ideas for their character, and then a week later he's like, sorry I never answered this, and then didn't give me an answer. So I just messaged him again, being like, hey, what's up? And then the next person is the DM, which I'm also not entirely sure what to paint for them. Maybe you guys have some ideas. The campaign theme is very like Magitech steampunky. So I'm not too sure what I want to do there yet. It might end up being some kind of a mix between the two that I've already done, which is like a wooden, and druidy, and a artificer's like copper one. So I might do like wooden insides and copper teeth or something like that. I'm not too sure. Let me know what you guys think. But I gotta figure that stuff out. So let's see, who's the last one? I think the last one is a wizard. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna do some like nice bright blue, like light arcana-y looking stuff, with some like white highlights, and he's the only one I think I want to paint like a nice texture on this inside disc. I need to move this camera if... Here, let me put that where I want it. I need to move this camera so that you guys can see. Oh, that's my crotch. What I'm doing... Go a little bit more that way so you're not looking right in my dick. Alright, there we go. Yeah, well, I'm trying to do like class and just their character's background. And so far, their backgrounds tend to be the most, or their classes tend to be most of their background. At least the easiest thing for me to paint it. Sorry, I'm just seeing their chat. So I'm just making sure that it's nothing about me. Alright. So yeah, I think let's just get started. Oh, I forgot you were here. My cat's in my room underneath my desk. And she might be asking to go outside. Yeah. Oh. You can go out. Yeah, okay. Alright. There we go. But yeah, doing different colors by their class. But let's talk about something else, because I have given that spiel a whole bunch of times. So I'm just going to talk to you guys about Everon a little bit while we get working on these. So last episode was kind of fun. We did more like plot. It was a slower episode, getting back into everything. I had a whole bunch of fun. And it sounded like the players did too. The players in chat, you guys can confirm that if you would like, or you can stay silent if I'm just blatantly wrong. There we go. These are the colors we're going to use, by the way. This looks a bit brighter. This is a bit brighter in person, but on the camera it shows up a little bit darker, unfortunately. Yeah, sure was awesome. I'm glad you guys had fun. We went through, we got to a new city. We finally went to Lamps and Tramps. Neil, you still need to send me some stuff about Lamps and Tramps, because if you want it to be all this stuff, you gotta tell me all that stuff. Because right now, I don't know anything about it. And I'm just making it work. Oh yeah, shit. Yeah, Neil, come on. That's alright though. But once you get me that stuff, I think it'll be pretty fun. I got a lot of stuff planned as well for the next couple episodes. I think the next couple episodes are going to be more kind of self-contained adventures, hopefully, and kind of figuring out like what the group really stands for and all of that stuff. Hopefully, at least. Oh, this brush's paint is peeling away. Like, see, you can kind of see on camera, but it's just flaking off. So I'm trying to get it off, not in the paint. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna get just a bunch of white paint over here. And even though this is like white primer, I'm gonna give it a layer of white paint as well, just so it can be a little bit more textured. Because right now it doesn't really have much texture, and I think that kind of takes away from it. And also just to get any of the imperfections, because it's not perfectly covered. Yeah, let's see what happened recently in Eberron, because it's been quite a while since we did an episode. So we this 2 days ago, this Saturday I think was our last episode, right? Was it that or was it last weekend? I think it was, yeah, it was a couple days ago. So that was our first time back in the Eberron world, since Halloween, and even in Halloween we weren't with our party. We were actually with some like just townsfolk, because we did a Halloween special where we took control of some townspeople and fought off some zombie invaders, which was fun. And I have some more stuff like that we might do. Probably not for a while, but more spooky stuff planned next time we do something like that. Because that was like, oh, zombies, that's Halloween-y. But we didn't get too spooky scary with it. And I think next time we're going to. I would like to, at least. I think that's going to be really fun. And it's really hard to see what I'm doing right now because I'm painting white on a white thing. So I'm not really trying to show you guys what I'm doing too bad right now. But when I get to the actual trap where I'm not just trying to quickly put down a coat. I'll show you guys a little bit better. There we go. Okay. Okay. Let's put this down there. Alright. Now down here, I'm not going to worry too much about this. I'll get a little bit on the parts where there isn't as much primer or there's something else. I have no idea what this song is. But I'm just touching this up a little bit. I'm just getting like little patches that didn't take the primer as well. Okay, I need to look at what the song is because I need to make sure that this is on the playlist that I wanted to. Yeah, apparently it is. Okay. We're gonna skip it though. There we go. We're going for more chill, vibey music and not that aggressive crap. Okay. There we go. Sorry, I'm just cleaning up the brush again. Okay. I do have some sandpaper. I have some right here. I was sanding up these other models actually to get them to close a bit easier. And they work a little bit better now. Still not perfectly. What, are you saying to sand the paintbrush? Or what are you thinking? Yeah. I would, but there are some parts that I'm trying to keep. Not all of the paintbrush is falling apart quite yet, but if it goes much further, I might have to. You might be right. Okay. Now, let's see. Do we want to do... I'm thinking, do I want to do like the inside is the more blue arcane energy and then the claws are the like blue, or sorry, the white arcane energy, or are we thinking more like blue and white on the outside and more solid blue on the inside. Like, what do I want to do? I think I might go at least put a layer of blue on the inside. Oh yeah, Neil, like I got it says the type of brush it is over here. I don't think you can see it, but it's E by 3/4. So I'm trying not to break too much of it. But it's time to get some blue. Put that off in the corner. And I think we're going to start getting blue on the inside. So what I'm going to do is hold the trap like, oh, I didn't want to drop that. I think I ruined the paint on the other thing. I'm going to hold it like inverted so it can't really go anywhere. I'm going to get just a light layer of blue on this. I'm going to try and work like pretty inside out. Which is pretty much all of the really small components that I should use a smaller brush for, but I insist on using this big brush for anyway. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. How are the streams working? They look like they're both functional. Looks like one's a little bit behind. The YouTube one is lagging behind a little bit. I think that's fine though. A little extra of the paint there. Clean it up. If I'm honest, I'm pretty sure I destroyed this brush by letting it soak up a bunch of the water. I think I left it in water a little bit too long. What is this? Okay, it looks like we should be good for now. I'm just going through the playlist and taking off songs that look like I probably don't want to be on here. There we go. let's see. So let's just go through a recap of all of Eberron, I think. Because why not? We got time. So we started off in Karnath, getting assaulted by a cult, basically, that want to use the undead as an army, and that was doing that pretty successfully until a war ended. Now that there's no longer a war, they lost a lot of power. And then we ran away. We had some party members die. Someone tried to fuck a badger at one point. And then they killed it instead. A different person killed it, I think, right? I don't know. Just a lot of chaos in those couple sessions. We made it to Fairhaven, a wonderful city of magic and elven power. And you know what? I am realizing that there are some things that I meant to narrate to my party, and I completely forgot to when they entered Fairhaven. That's alright. I'll work it into the next episode. We've had a lot change in just the last episode. We got somewhere completely different, new powers. We're in a new nation. Our party kind of leveled up fairly fast. They're up to level 5 now, I think. Is that right, Neil? If you're still in chat. They got to level 5 in just a few sessions. Because they fought a lot of tough stuff. But also we're doing milestone, and I let them. Because I wanted it to be more of a mid-level adventure. And the original plan was for it to be a much faster adventure. But now it's looking like it's slowing down a bit. Gonna be going more at a critical role pace than a D20 pace. Which is fine. I think that's also fun. I think that can be a little bit more fun for the players, actually. So, which is part of why we're slowing down so much. But I think it also helps it feel more immersive for the chat. At least I hope it does. And I'm hoping that it kind of feels more like the chat is able to be playing along with us and be part of the game. I know we've had a couple of people in chat ask about joining the party as well, which is why I want to make it feel more like the chat is a player. So I'm working on some stuff there, maybe have something there. Don't know if that's going to work out, but if it does, that'll be fun and make it a bit more, it'll make the chat able to be more of a player and part of the fun. rather than just sitting around watching, which, you know, also fun. Nothing wrong with that. As was talked about quite a bit last night on Wheezy's stream, nothing wrong with sitting around and watching other people. You know, there are a couple, you know, like not blobs, but bits of not quite dried white paint still on here from when I did a quick coat earlier. And I think it's actually adding quite a nice texture for like the arcane like swooshing around. I think it's looking pretty nice. I think it's working out pretty well. I might try and do something more like that on the outside, like more intensely. I think that will turn out pretty well. Oh yeah, this brush is way too thick for what I'm doing. Oh, what are you painting? One of your prints to sell? Oh, you know what? Yeah, it's the orders. Ooh, Baldur's Gate character statues. That's cool. What characters? I freaking love Baldur's Gate, dude. I've played so much of it. Dame Aelin. Oh, Dame Aelin's cool. Oh yeah, her wings. I can see why they would be a pain in the ass, yeah. But I bet it's gonna come out sick. Dame Aelin, Karlach, and Astarion. Ooh. All great characters. All actually okay. All Baldur's Gate characters are cool characters. Karlach, of course, the muscle mommy. That is also a golden retriever. Love that. I definitely don't like Astarion as much as I think a lot of other people do, but I think it's just because I don't have any like interest in him, and it seems to be that he has become quite a sex symbol. But he is rather cool. Yeah, he's pretty hit or miss. I think he's cool, but like, not for me. Not my kind of character. I do like his story though. He has a cool story. And then one of my favorites I think is Minsk, because I think a large part of why I like him though is just because of Matt Mercer being his voice, and I can't disconnect the two. So I just am like, oh, it's Matt. I like Matt. Yeah, Matt Mercer's cool. Very, very big fan of him. I actually just started watching their Critical Role Campaign 1 because I watched Vox Machina, their TV show, and I was like, this is badass. And I realized that was all played like 8 years ago. So I have quite a bit to catch up on. Campaign 2 I'm really looking forward to as well, but I will not be getting to anytime soon. But I have seen a whole bunch of clips like on TikTok and stuff. Yeah, 40 to 60 episodes, and that makes sense. It makes way more sense for it too. Because I think at the start they're just kind of figuring out a lot of D&D mechanics too, because I think that was some of their first times playing D&D, or they had been playing Pathfinder before or something like that, if I remember right. Yeah, I heard about that, the Tiberius character. Yeah. Yeah, he rubbed me the wrong way from the start, but I think I also went in knowing that happened, so I was like, "Oh, this guy is not in any of the stuff I've seen. There must be something wrong with him, because otherwise he would still be part of it." Um, but I don't know. I think they got it all worked out. Not like they're back on good terms or anything, but they wrote out the character and everything. Um, they even killed his character off and had a pseudo funeral / mention episode. That's funny. Um, yeah. I don't know. I heard that the guy was going through a lot of stuff, so like I kind of feel bad, but also like none of that stuff is really the fault of your friends and not their problem. So like do it like treating your friends the way that guy was treating them was not excusable by what he said was going on and all that. So yeah. Yeah. No, not on good terms at all. They just got it figured out campaign wise. I think I'm only like a couple episodes in right now. Yeah, exactly. He put a whole bunch of stuff on them that they shouldn't have to deal with. Um, but, you know, it happens. And those people tend not to stick around in anybody's life too long. This is Colore acrylic paint. I have no idea if it's good paint for this or for what I'm doing, but it's the paint I had, and therefore it's the best paint for this. Uh, Similarly, this is the brush I had for that, and therefore this is the best brush for this. Dilute it down with some distilled water. Oh, that sounds like a lot of work. Um, it definitely isn't actually a lot of work, but yeah, just like a tiny bit of water in it. Okay. I might have to do that for the dragon model that I'm going to be painting soon. It would definitely have made this easier as well. I really chose the thickest brush I had for the smallest detailed parts. But that's alright. I will say part of what I like about this paint is it isn't super flowy, so I can add like brush stroke texturing to it to stuff very easily. Because this is supposed to be like an arcane trap kind of thing for a wizard. So this is going to be. Oh, I have that bot going too often. I'll have to fix that. Whatever. So it's supposed to be like, arcane energy flowing around. But that definitely would have been very helpful for a whole bunch of stuff. And I kind of wish I did that for another one. Let me set this down. I got some peelies on the brush. Two thin coats. Yeah, that makes sense. That definitely is the right way to paint it. Let me skip this song real quick. There we go. It flows better and it doesn't gloop. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to try that on my next one. I'm trying right now to do this like every Monday because I really need to get through all of these. I have 2 more traps that I need to paint and a dragon, or a dragon dice holder. So that'll help with that a lot. And it sounds like it will probably speed it up a little bit because I'm doing 2 coats anyway, but it'll just apply a lot nicer and I won't have to spend as much time trying to get it all to sit where I want. Or at least it has the potential to speed up certain parts of it. Yeah, like probably like the chain of this specifically. That takes forever because it doesn't always do what I want. I still have 25 painted orders to go. Wow. I don't envy you. I have 5 painted traps that I'm doing, and this is just like as a gift for my friends. And I'm making like a video about it. So get subscribed if you aren't. I think you are though. You get down to single digits and it pumps back up. Yeah. I only have these 6 things to paint, and I have been going at a snail's pace. But also I don't have as much time to focus on this as I'm sure you spend on it. It sounds like you have to keep going or keep working on it like constantly. You don't get a break. Where I do this like Monday nights, you know. Yeah, 100%. So that's what I thought. I got pretty much all the inside and the outside rim of the inside done, so I'm gonna touch up the bottom now, or paint over the bottom now. 16 hours a day painting, Jesus. Yeah, I spend like 2 hours a week. You might give yourself a day. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do editing. Like, I go constantly, and then I'll take a day off, or like a half day off sometimes, because you know if you stop, your bills don't get paid that week, you know. Yeah, I definitely get that. Yeah, 12 to 18 inches tall. Jesus. Are those even? Yeah, okay. You kill the minis quick. That makes sense. Minis aren't too bad. I mean, I think that they would be more intricate detail on the minis, but not. But like you can use just less stuff you gotta paint in total. Your gaming chair broke in the middle of it last night. Jesus. Gaming stool, yeah. This chair that I'm in, you can't really see it. Maybe up here. Is just like a leftover office chair. That like I got for free. And I have like a nice office chair over that I use when I'm at my computer. Because that I'm sitting in like 12 hours a day. Fun. weird. Whatever. But yeah, you gotta have a good chair if you're sitting in it too much. That is gonna be the quickest thing that you notice if you don't get that replaced quick. Bought a new one. Be there mountain. Perfect. Oh, no, heavy duty custom parts. Nice. Yeah, honestly I do need a nicer chair. The one I have now is it's an alright office chair for I got it for my brother actually. But I think he got it from Costco. So it's like nice, but not, use it as much as I do nice. Like it has a mesh bottom and everything, so it's starting to give out a little bit. But once that goes, I'm hoping to get a much nicer one. I've been keeping my eye out for like any really nice chairs at a good price on like eBay or Facebook Marketplace, but I don't have super high hopes. But we'll see. Yeah, it looks like my YouTube stream might be lagging a little bit, so I apologize if you're dealing with any issues over there. My Twitch stream should be mostly alright. And then I'm gonna come back at down here with a smaller brush at the end. And what I'm gonna do is take this leftover white paint and mix it in with this blue over here. Not super well, and that way it's going to be a bit more streaky. And then I'm going to get these claws. I think what I'm going to have to do is come back with a lot of white and add a bunch of streaks to the outside here to give it that texture. I think this is going to be a really good base coat though. To give it the depth and like the substance that it needs. But I think getting those white streaks on are going to really help it. I don't know if you guys can hear, but my brother's running a D&D game the next room over. I can hear him like, yeah, so give me a perception check to see if you notice this, like the big bad. There we go. I think that's going to have to be good for now. And I'll tip that on its teeth a little bit. So it's out of the way. Alright. And then I will paint this. Now, I kind of want it like swirling around. So I'm not sure the best way to do that. But I'm just gonna kind of go for it by like twirling this while I like pick my brush up a little bit. And I think I want to do this with like kind of thick. Oh, got some crap on it. That's okay. It just adds a little texture. Okay. And then we're trying to get the underside as well. This one's going to be much more straightforward. I'm not worried about getting a super good texture on it because it's the underside. It's going to be inside the mechanism. You're not really going to see it as much as you're just going to be able to like peek a glance at it now and then. Alright, here's some that you're really not going to like. I have a bunch of other brushes right here. They've actually been on screen this whole time that are much smaller and finer and much better for what I've been doing. And I'm about to switch to one of them. Alright, there we go. Leave that over here to dry. Which one should I use? Probably this one. I'm going to use this to just kind of get a lot of these smaller parts. Oh, I forgot to do the inside of those. That's alright. that over and get this side. Now, one thing I'm really not sure about is what I'm going to do for the chain here. I kind of want to just snip it off. In fact, I might do that. There we go. And I actually am going to be right back. I'm going to grab some side cutters and I am going to snip those off. So you guys are going to get to see my new BRB screen. Alright, we're back. I didn't have any side clippers, but I had these pliers. So I'm going to try and just kind of crush and twist this off at its weak point down here. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so we got the chain off. Alright, and then what we'll do is we'll just get some more of this paint on this. A little stub that is left over from the chain. There we go. Okay. I think it's a lot better. What I'll do is I'll bring this back here so it's like bending the other way. I got a couple spots here I gotta do. Okay, and then I'm going to turn around to this side. Do the same thing on this side. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Then we're going to set that down on the claws so that it can dry. And we're going to take a look over at this, which isn't quite dry yet, but we're going to just look at it, see where it's at. The top is still a little wet, but it's mostly dry. Bottom looks like it's about the same place. Now my plan for this is to get a bit more of this white paint and get it kind of going in swirls around it, around maybe almost like an orb in the center, maybe, kind of like a whirlpool effect, with like, instead of like bubbles that you would see in the middle of a whirlpool, like, you know, a little white sphere, maybe. We'll see when we get there. As much as I would like this to be pretty textured, I do need to be a little mindful that this is supposed to be the flat surface that you put like a mug on, for example. Like we'll take one of these, for example. And the mechanism on this still catches a little bit, so I need to do some more sanding. But what is supposed to happen is it's sitting like this, you put a mug or something on it, and it closes up right around your mug or your can of soda. And then when you take it off, it releases. So, you know, you put something on, it closes around it, and then you take off the weight and it opens back up. It still catches a little bit, so like right now, when you take the weight off, it stays closed, and you kind of got to open it manually. And I think that's just because I painted the mechanism, which is just this right here, a little too thick. So I'm going to go back with some sandpaper. I did it a little bit already. I think this is too coarse. I think I'm going to need to get some thinner sandpaper, or some finer sandpaper, and get it a little bit more, so it is going up and down a bit more freely. But since this is going to be what the mug goes on, I don't want to put too much texture on it. You know, I want it to be fairly flat for to be a flat surface to put the mug on, you know. Cool. My friend just sent me their character inspiration for their monk, which means I'm gonna be able to get their trap done a little bit. I'm still trying to figure out the DM's one. I need to figure out what they're gonna get still. But we'll see. I have some very vague ideas still, but you know, nothing concrete yet. So we'll figure it out. Right now I'm going to put this in some water. I'm going to let that one soak because that's not wood, that's plastic. And then I'll use this brush again. The inside of these teeth, if we have enough paint for it. I might have to mix a little bit more. Definitely gonna have to mix just a little bit more paint. But that's alright. When I do that, I'll go through and I'll touch up everything as best I can as well. Ooh. Really don't want to drop that on my carpet. That would have been bad. Here, let me bring this back over here. Was I? Oh, I was like off screen. Sorry that you guys can't really see what I'm doing. If I hold it at an angle where you can see it, I can't see it, unfortunately. I would like to have the camera like right over my shoulder right here, but if I do that, then unfortunately I can't plug it into my computer. So I might have to figure out another way to do that. If I can get a longer cable or what. Yeah. We need just a little bit more paint. So I'll dry that off and get that paint out real quick. Should be enough. And I'm not going to bother mixing it with a little bit of white because it's just finishing up the inside of these teeth here. Do that. There we go. Alright. And then kind of inverting it a little bit. I'm gonna hold it right there. I'm gonna get these edges. Okay. Now I'm gonna put that upside down, move it out of the way, clean this brush off a little bit, and we're gonna get to the mug holder part, the coaster part, the actual platform that we put the mug on. I'll put that over here to dry. Cool. So I think I'm going to use this brush and just add like little streaks of light around. Let's see how dry this is. I don't know that it's almost dry. I think I could use a little bit longer. Let's see. So I'm going to be right back actually. I'm going to grab some water, and then when I get back we're going to add those streaks to this over here. So be right back.
It hit me, I was scared of dying. Thought of all the things I gave up trying. A never-ending car ride, windows rolling down. I couldn't stop crying. Moonlit walls crumble to pieces. Fragments lost, they prove my existence. pass me a bone. Take this awful mess. I solved it once before, but there's always more and more and more. Stay up till the sunrise, butterflies in my eyes. Didn't I tell you, keep on falling behind. Chest is feeling so tight, it carved a hole inside and grew. Moonlit walls crumble to pieces. Fragments lost, they prove my existence. Time and space crawl to a soul. Sit in silence, I sing when I'm alone. So I look up at the ceiling fan. Everything feels lighter staring at the ceiling fan. So I look up at the ceiling fan. Everything feels lighter staring at the ceiling fan.
Hey guys, we're back. Alright, there we go. So let's get some more paint. And this is gonna be just the white paint. And we're gonna use this paint brush, just making sure that it's not solid, or too solid, I should say. I'm gonna add a little bit right there. I'm not gonna do too much because this is mostly just for like stylization. You know, I'm not trying to cover up everything, but what I'm gonna do is just kind of like I don't think that looks very good. So what I'll do is I'll add a couple more and then I'll use the blue to cover it up a little bit. So that this is kind of peeking through maybe. I'm going to try and do lighter layers.
They say you'll never be a star, that you started
Okay.
much too late.
Yeah, so that doesn't look very good. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the blue to cover this mostly up, and that way it's going to look more like the white is peeking through rather than we painted a bunch of white on top of blue. And I think that's going to make it look a lot better. So we're going to let that dry, and then we're going to do the same thing on the outside of this. We're going to make sure that this can move. Moving just fine, it seems like. Okay. But we're going to add those white streaks.
Just like a flower, stop thinking about the past and what could have been for hours and hours. It wasn't fair, I was there. I wish I could tell a younger me to forgive yourself for not starting. You would get there eventually. I can still create something great, and it's still not too late.
Okay, I think that'll be good as a rough first layer thing, and that way when that dries we can go back and add blue to kind of cover up the edges so they're not so harsh, but also so that it looks more like, you know, the white's peeking through to the blue outer layer. Okay, yeah, this dried very quickly, which means I can go right back in with this other brush that we used earlier. Let me just dry that off real quick. But I can go right back in with this other brush and just polish up the edges. There we go. I think one of the bigger things is how thick that it came through. And that it was so very much white and not white with the blue behind it. Right now I'm kind of going over the white and getting some of that blue scrap there. And already, honestly, I like the look of that better. Yeah, that's a tiny bit better already. And then we're gonna use a bit more to kind of split it up a little bit. And more unique pieces and slices of white popping through. I think it's looking a lot better already, but we still have a lot left to do here, obviously. One of the things I'm doing is I'm trying to make them either long or thick. You know, if it's thick, it's not gonna make it as far, but if it's long, then but if it's skinny, it goes a little bit further. And that way, I'm trying to make it look a little bit not as just fully covered by fat, long, like strips of white. And I think that's working out pretty well so far. Also trying to keep them from being like too many back to back or next to each other. Kind of spread them out a little bit more. And I want them to all be like kind of following the same general direction, but you know, I'm giving them a little bit of variance. You know, it's not like they're all following a path. It's the turbulence of the magic that's creating the white streaks is how I'm seeing it. The same way how like the turbulence of waves or of water is what gives waves the like foaminess on top. Um, that's how my mind sees it, at least. Um, I think that's a lot better than what we started with. Um, I would like to give it a bit of more depth to it, but I think the only way to do that would be, or the only way that I know how to do that is by adding physical height. And like I said earlier, because this is the coaster, I don't really want to add too much of that. So I think that'll be good enough for now. So we'll go back to this trap, and we will add a bit more over here. There we go. And we'll just do the same thing, you know? Kind of dirtying it up a little bit, adding some blue fur to kind of be peeking through. Seems like I might be having some bitrate issues, so because stream is almost over, you know, I'm probably going to be wrapping up in a half hour or so. I'll just look into it next time, unless it gets really bad. But for now, I'm not too worried about it. And another thing I'm doing on here is because we mixed in a little bit of white earlier, the blue on the outside is a little bit darker, or sorry, a little bit lighter. So I'm adding this darker blue back in on the outside. It doesn't show up too well on camera, but it adds just a little bit of depth, which is something that I was talking about earlier, that I'm trying to have a bit of. Yeah, that's looking a little bit better. I might try and add a tiny bit to the inside as well. I don't know. I might not. I might just leave it like this. I don't know. What do you guys think? Actually, I'm going to also see something else. Hold on.
Quiet summer nights, flowers in the
Okay.
rain. I wish on all the stars it'd stay the same. I keep them in my heart, the endless feelings of
Um,
fragile tiny pieces
Here, I'll put this over here for now while I'm not actively painting. But I think what I'm gonna do is, I think I will add a bit of white on the inside. I'm gonna go a little bit less than I did on the outside. I don't want it to be as crazy, but you know, just a little bit peeking through, because you're not really gonna see too much of it. But I want to be able to see a tiny bit of it at least. Let me just try this off. Okay, there we go. I want even less than that, actually. I want it to match the direction of do the same thing over here. And again, I'm trying to do this very light, because I'm not even gonna go back over it with the blue, I don't think.
Walking down this path again, too afraid to make new friends. Will you stay or will you leave?
I don't know how well you guys can see that, but I think I did a pretty good job. Okay. And then, let's see, that still moves freely. I did put a little bit of paint on here, so I'm wondering if that will be too much to clog it up. I might have to go through with the sandpaper again, and I might need to get finer sandpaper as well. That is something that I was worried about earlier. With these ones in particular, like I showed earlier, when I close it, it stays closed. And the best way to open it back up is to push it back from the bottom, which, you know, if you have this on a table, you don't want to be going like, you don't want to pick it up and push it from the bottom and kind of coax it out again every time. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to get that to be a little bit more friendly. So like what I have been doing was going through it with some sandpaper. Let me move this so I'm not sanding directly over what I just painted. I have been just going through and scuffing up this little bit. I've been focusing on this little keyed part. Let me see if I can get a good angle. I don't know, you can kind of see it there. Like, yeah, you can see it like that. There's a little keyed or tooth sticking out there. I've been trying to make sure that the sides of that are nice and sanded down. But I've also been trying to make sure that just everything on the outside of this circle is nice and sanded as well. And I actually need to get this little piece. There's a tiny piece sticking out right there that I'm just trying to get out. There we go. And then we'll get back to sanding it. There we go. And that's been getting these a lot smoother. It's what let this trap work at all, even if it's still a bit sticky. And the other one's working not perfectly, but more all right. So I'm gonna just try and keep doing it a little bit. You know, sand a bit more and more until it's working the way I want it to. But this has been working pretty well to get it, you know, more cooperative. So I don't know if there's a better way. If you guys know of any, you know, let me know. Because this isn't really the fastest process out there. I'm sure that there's a better way that I'm missing. And it does kind of mess up all the painting that I did there, but you know, it's worth it if it works. And then on this side, what I've been doing is I've been just sticking the sandpaper in a roll and twisting it a whole bunch. So it's kind of slowly sanding everything. And I try and do it from both sides so that, because this rolls up kind of not evenly, so I want to make sure that I'm getting both sides fairly even. where I can. But it seems to work pretty well. So let's see how that worked. Well, it goes down a lot easier and it comes up more freely. You know, you don't have to go down from the bottom anymore. So it's working. Let's try one more cycle of each. Let's try just that. I think that worked pretty well. Felt like I got a lot there. Almost. Okay. I think if I got some finer sandpaper, this would work a little bit better too. Because I think that might be creating some grooves potentially that are just catching on each other, where some finer sandpaper might help a little bit more. Let's see what this is. I don't actually remember. I don't think this will tell me now. Because this is actually sandpaper from an electric sander, not like actual just sandpaper. Alright, let's try that one. This. Oh, almost. Let's see if I can get it a little bit more. Yeah, let's see if I can get it just a little bit more. I think I'm almost there. We'll try that. Almost. Almost. We'll see. We'll try this again.
Sun is getting low, I close my eyes. A perfect day to nap under the animal sky. I'll leave no trace, they'll never find this place. Dizziness be gone, sleeping can be.
Alright, we'll see if that did anything. But
Gotta get taller.
this might be as best as we can get this one.
Under the animal sky.
Oh, yeah, I think so. So we'll work on this one now. Let's see how this one is now. Yeah, so this one's pretty rough. It's a little bit better than the other one started. So we'll go around. Okay, and then we'll get in here. I think part of what it is this paint just like sticking to itself a little bit too much. Well, I think this one, because I tried not to paint the inside of this ring, should be a lot better. So we'll see how these two turn out. Let me try and open this up a little bit more. I think it's not doing too much because it was closing in on itself and not hitting all the sides. But I think it's better now. Let's see how this works. It's better. Still could use some more work though. We'll give this one another pass. Alright, that's pretty bare in the middle now, so I think that should be fine. I think Now we just gotta work on this one. Let's try that. This should be pretty good now. Not quite. But what was it? Yeah, I'll give it one more try. I think if you can kind of see in there's like one strip of the brown paint left, and I think that is what is giving us trouble here. Try that from the top now. Alright, let's try that. Okay. It's not terrible. Okay. What am I caught on? I think there's a sock in one of my wheels on my chair. Okay. And let me just check one thing real quick. Sorry. One moment. Okay. So let's look at this now that it's had some time to dry. Yeah. You know, it's not perfect, but it'll do. It'll be good enough. Let's see if the trap is dry. Kind of feels like it. And let's see if it can close. Doesn't seem like it. So once this fully dries, I will have to come back and sand this off a little bit. But that should be fine. Shouldn't be a huge deal. Part of me is wondering if these, like the paint here, is sticking to the paint on the bottom of this just enough that it's not able to close on its own, and that's why these aren't closing. But I won't really be able to check that unless I paint one of these and just not paint this mechanism at all. So I'll have to try that on the next one. I think the next one I'm going to paint is going to be my DMs, and right now I'm kind of leaning towards giving him one that is like just a regular bear trap. I'm not sure about that yet though, but we'll have to see. Because if I come up with something better, that's what he's going to get. But for now, I like the idea of giving him the one that, you know, actually does work, because the DM is the one who typically has to do the most work in a campaign. I think it'll be funny to be like, hey, yeah, yours actually is like metal and works. Where, like, you know, if you make a bear trap out of copper, it's not going to be the most effective bear trap than if you make it out of steel, or or if you make a bear trap out of blue magic. You know, who knows what that's going to do. Um, so I think that'll be a little funny. So we'll see. If I come up with something better, you know, he'll get that, or then he'll get the something better. Otherwise, he'll just get a plain bear trap, and I think that'll be fine. I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm missing something. I don't know. If you guys caught our Eberron stream on Saturday, I hope you guys had fun. We're gonna have another one in a few weeks. The one of our players is going to be in Colorado, I think, starting next weekend, for a little bit, helping Wheezy move, helping over there with that stuff. So we had to delay it a little bit, but we're trying not to wait too long for our next session. So it'll still be, or I think it'll be early next month. I think the 10th is something we're talking about right now. It's not hammered down yet, not promising anything, but that is a potential date for our next session. Let's see. Oh yeah, so unfortunately we have had some players drop out of the campaign due to just being busy and not having time to do everything, and that's fine. Shit happens, you know. Can't can't blame them for having stuff going on in their lives outside of my make believe game of hey, let's go stab this thing and all that. So they're busy with that. So we're gonna have to figure some stuff out in the next couple sessions for that. Let's see, what else. Yeah, I'm super excited to be getting back into Eberron, and that yeah, be getting back into Eberron and just being a DM again. I've spent hours planning out things to do already. You know, whether it is like, oh, what happens if we go to this tavern versus that tavern? You know, different adventures for the players to be able to go on, but also just like overarching like big story stuff, because I want to have a good bit of big story as well. You know, we're in the fantastical world of Eberron, has a bunch of cool shit, so I want to make sure that we are giving the players a chance to see all of that. But also, you know, we want to have some more grounded sessions as well that aren't, you know, plot. That where it feels like we're taking away the agency of the characters or of the players. You know, we don't want that. There's definitely been a whole lot of learning for these last couple episodes, or for all of Eberron actually. It has been so much fun to figure out like just what a DM does, how to do it better, and all of that. Um, and I absolutely love it. Let's see what else. Oh, and if you guys are interested in D&D but don't have a group, you guys should check out Javon. Let me give him a shout out really quick, actually. In his Discord server, they are doing a D&D game starting, I think, not too far away. Um, oh, I apparently can't do that. Apparently, I can't give shoutouts. That's fine. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, they're doing an Adventure League campaign. They have a professional DM. I think they're looking for one more DM as well. I'm going to be playing in it as a player. I have a really cool player made, or a really cool character made for it. That's a cleric, so I'm not going to have to deal with any clericless parties. But also, my cleric is going to be a big fan of hurting and doing some damage. Their grave war or a grave domain. I think that's right. Cleric. So they're gonna have a bunch of options for whatever they want to do, rather than always being like, well, the party wants to do this. So I'll have plenty of buffs, but also plenty of um, things I can do on my own. And I don't know that I'll be able to in this campaign in the Adventure League setting. I don't know if I'll be able to kind of explore that like relationship with my deity too much there. That'll be kind of more depending on what the DM wants to do. Um, but we'll see, because I think that the Adventure League setting, the too many players coming through might make it a little bit hard to focus on any one player too much, especially since you'll get like maybe one session max to really focus on their story before they miss like the next two things. And also, it's kind of unfair to focus on one player too much in a session if everyone else hasn't gotten to play for 2 weeks and this is like their one time to play. You don't want to steal that from anyone. So I doubt I'll get to explore that specifically too much, but I have high hopes for just the campaign in general. I believe it's the set in Avernus. Um, like, what's that called? It's the Avernus story or adventure book. Um, because everyone's been playing Baldur's Gate. A lot of people are familiar um, with what Avernus is and want to kind of explore that a little bit more. So we wanted to give people, or not we, the DM wanted to give everyone something that they were kind of familiar with. And I think that's a pretty cool idea, and it makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah. Yeah. Just just cool stuff like that. All right. But I think that is it for today. I think a nice little 3-hour painting stream with, I don't know, like 20 minutes, maybe half an hour of just chatting, and at the end to kind of tie it all together. I hope you guys had fun. Like I said, um, if you guys have been watching Eberron, possible next episode on the 10th. But if you haven't been watching it, you definitely should follow or subscribe on my YouTube and watch it there. We're going to be having a ton of fun. It's an absolute blast. And it's a we love having people in chat to kind of bounce off of, whether it's people reminding us that we need to we need to add bless to a saving throw, or giving us just batshit ideas for what to try. Like, one of my favorite moments from the last episode was one of our players approached a halfling and made a joke that something made like a half off joke, and that was awful, but they rolled really well, so I gave it to them. They also tried that joke on a dwarf first, I believe, and that they rolled really bad on that one, and it fell flat, or they fell flat on their face there. So it was really a blast to try all these different things. But yeah, so get followed, get subscribed on YouTube, and your next stream might be Monday for painting again, but I might have a stream on Saturday as well if I have something else to do and I have some time. Yeah, so see you guys then. If you want updates, get in the Discord, !Discord in either chat, and you'll get updates whenever I'm going live. Alright, thanks guys. Bye-bye.